The Lord be with you. Let us pray. God of everlasting light, in whom there is no darkness, we praise you and we bless you today for these students who carry your light into the world. We thank you for all those who have enlightened their lives and helped them to shine, for family and friends, mentors and teachers, and all those who have supported, encouraged, nurtured, and sustained them. We ask your blessing upon these graduates today. Give them an abiding sense of your presence, a love for all that you have created, and the courage to go into the dark places of this world and bring your light, that as they have been so abundantly blessed, they might be a blessing to others. Amen.
Please be seated. Welcome to the Augustana University 2019 Commencement Ceremony. My name is Stephanie Herseth Sandlin, and I have the pleasure and the privilege to serve as president of Augustana. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students, I'm pleased to extend a special welcome to family and friends on this momentous occasion in the life of the university and in the lives of our graduates. Today, we celebrate the significant and important accomplishments of over 340 outstanding women and men who have dedicated the last number of years to the discovery and development of important ideas, to acquiring experience and perspective, to exploring faith, creating community, and discerning their vocations. And today we gather to celebrate these extraordinary individuals for successfully achieving one of life's most important milestones, a university degree. But not just any university degree, a degree from Augustana University, a degree that has prepared them for a lifetime of career opportunities and for servant leadership in the communities they will call home. To the graduates seated before me, please know and remember the significance of today. Today, you not only receive your diploma, you also earn distinction and respect as a graduate of Augustana University, an accomplishment that will forever be a part of your life's record, an accomplishment through which others will immediately identify you as ready. Ready. Ready to serve, ready to lead, ready to challenge assumptions and navigate change, ready to do whatever you can to build a better tomorrow. In addition to Augustana's 5 core values of Christian faith, liberal arts, excellence, community, and service that are now part of the fabric of your life, your Augustana education has given you the knowledge, wisdom, and skills to be the change makers and thought leaders that the world needs and expects. You, graduates of the class of 2019, are individuals who can think critically, communicate effectively, and think with a global perspective. Your Augustana University diploma should forever be a source of pride for each of you and for all those here today who helped guide you in the journey toward this achievement. In addition to celebrating our graduates, today is also a time for thanking God for the many blessings He has bestowed. In addition to the gifts of our graduates, we lift up the gifts of our dedicated and renowned faculty and our talented and caring staff, individuals who have invested themselves in the Augustana University mission to provide an education of enduring worth that challenges the intellect, that fosters integrity, and that integrates faith with learning and service in a diverse world. At this time, I would ask that all members of the Augustana faculty and staff, wherever you are seated in the arena, to please stand and be recognized. most important gift in the lives of our students is the love and support of their families. To the family members and friends who are here today, I want to thank you for entrusting us to care for, to teach, and to guide your graduate. I want you to know it's been our honor and our privilege to walk alongside them in their journey. As these graduates prepare to begin the next chapter in their lives, we also want to thank you for all that you've done as parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, spouses, significant others, all other loved ones who love and nurture and shape our graduates and the people that we know today. Individuals who are thoughtful, caring and curious, individuals who are already making contributions to the world around them. Also sharing the stage with us today is a single rose. This rose reminds us of the special members of the Augustana community and of our graduates' families, whom we have lost during the time that these students have been with us. Some of the losses came with unexpected suddenness, and others quietly passing after a long life filled with service and with love. Let us forever remember and rejoice in the gifts that they have shared with us as well. So as we gather today to celebrate the successful journey of these very special Augustana graduates, we pause and reflect on all that's been accomplished to reach this point. We're grateful for God's generous and unfailing love, which brought these wonderful people to our campus community and through which all things are possible. At this time, I would like to invite Tom Davis, class of 1983 and chair of the Augustana Board of Trustees, to the podium.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good afternoon, everyone. Graduates, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Augustana University, congratulations. Today marks an important and significant moment in your life, a moment and a day that you will never forget, the culmination of your pursuit of higher education. We are honored and proud to count you as Augustana alumni. Since 1860, Augustana has been the place great thinkers and visionaries have come to dream big dreams. Every fall, students join us from across the nation, across the globe, and around the world because deep within them, they are individuals who are hardwired to serve. They are passionate about the power of education, driven to do more, and are relentless in their desire to build a better tomorrow. And we have the pleasure of helping those dreams come true. Graduates, you are the future. You are tomorrow's teachers, artists, journalists, doctors, healthcare providers, entrepreneurs, volunteers, lawyers, pastors, advocates, researchers, business professionals, nurses, and so much more. You are the brave souls who will knock down walls, push through barriers, create new pathways, find new solutions, and most importantly, challenge the status quo. And all of us here today, your professors, the Augustana staff who has cared for you during your time on campus, the university leadership, and the Board of Trustees, we are all excited to be able to say, we knew you when. We knew you when you were a graduate. We knew you when all these things in front of you are still to come. To the Augustana faculty and staff, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you. Thank you for catering and fostering a loving and nurturing campus community. Thank you for all you've done to teach and mentor these graduates, for creating opportunities for them to engage in dialogue, to ask questions, and seek answers. And most of all, thank you for helping them to serve God's call for them in this world and for walking alongside them as they work to build lives of meaning and purpose. Graduates, congratulations. Now I invite Dr. Colin Irvin, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, to the podium.
Thank you, Tom. The faculty and staff at Augustana University demonstrate excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service to the university and community. Each year, a number of faculty and staff members receive awards acknowledging and providing support for this work. The list of awards and selection criteria are noted in your program. Please take a moment to review those. And I would ask those who are listed as receiving an award to stand and be recognized. Congratulations. In addition to those names already listed in the program, there are 4 additional awards that we name at commencement. The first is the Orrin M. Loftus Distinguished Professorship, and this year's recipient is Dr. Matthew Peel. The next is the recipient of the Vernon and Mildred Niebuhr Faculty Excellence Award, and that recipient is Dr. Pilar Cabrera. The Stanley Olson Chair of Moral Values 3-year appointment goes this year to Dr. Margaret Preston. The final award is the Jane and Charles Zalotic Faculty Research Fellowship Award. This year's recipient is Dr. Joseph Pattison. We are grateful for the generous gifts that were given to make many of these awards possible. Thank you, and I am grateful as well to the faculty, to whom I would ask that we give one more round of applause for all of their excellence. It is my sincere honor to announce one of the recipients this year for an honorary degree. David Lillehog and his siblings, Stephen and Lori, were the 3rd generation of Lillehogs to attend Augustana. The son of longtime Augustana music professor and director of bands Dr. Leland Lillehog and his wife, Ardis, David graduated summa cum laude from Augustana in 1976. Augustana prepared David well for Harvard Law School, where he received his J.D. cum laude in 1979. He then served as a law clerk to a U.S. District Court judge in Minneapolis. After presidential nomination and unanimous confirmation from 1994 to 1998, David served as the United States Attorney for the District of Minnesota, the federal government's chief prosecutor in the state. He won praise for his work on white-collar and violent crime. For 25 years, David was a lawyer in private practice, representing clients in high-profile litigation and investigations. Among others, he represented Fortune 100 companies, 3 U.S. senators, Minnesota's governor, auditor, and House of Representatives, the University of Minnesota, the city of St. Paul, and 2 Ojibwa nations. Throughout his private practice, he was well known for pro bono work. In 2013, former Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton appointed David to the Minnesota Supreme Court, and he won retention on election in 2014. In 5 years on the court, Justice Lillehog has authored over 100 opinions. Justice Lillehog received the Augustana Alumni Achievement Award in 2006, and he served Augustana on the Board of Trustees from 2010 to 2013. He and his wife Winifred have been married for 37 years, and they have 1 daughter, Kara, also a lawyer. Justice Lillehog also may be familiar to those of you who attended last year's 2018 commencement ceremony. In his remarks to last year's class entitled Becoming a Public Citizen, he challenged graduates, regardless of their vocation, to seize the opportunity to transform yourself into a public citizen, having special responsibility for the quality of your community. And he reminded all of us of our obligations in being public citizens, that we are all called to vocation, that character matters, and that optimism about our communities and our nation's future is essential. Justice Lillehog, please present yourself to the podium. By the authority vested in me by the Augustana University Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you, David Lillehog, the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Alumna Dr. Marilyn Stember earned her Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Augustana in 1967. She is Professor Emeritus at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Center, where she served 40 years as Professor, Department Chair, Associate Dean for Research, and Executive Associate Dean. During her tenure, Dr. Stember secured substantial federal and private grant funding for innovative educational and research projects, which led to numerous publications, as well as presentations to national and international audiences. She also secured university-wide approval for a Center for Nursing Research and served as its founding director for more than a decade. Dr. Stember also developed the first PhD program in nursing west of the Mississippi, and built one of the top nursing research programs in the country. In addition to her degree from Augustana, Dr. Stember earned a master's in nursing from the University of Washington in Seattle. Now, due to a lack of doctorate nursing programs in the 1970s, she was selected for a new federally funded nurse scientist program that enabled nurses to pursue doctoral degrees in related fields with the goal of preparing them for academic instructional positions. The closest disciplines to her public health nursing clinical specialty were the social sciences, and Dr. Stember completed both her Master's of Arts and her PhD degrees in sociology from the University of Colorado in Boulder. She subsequently completed a 2-year postdoctorate in psychology at the University of Denver. Dr. Stember has been exceptionally active in many professional and civic organizations, including a 4-year appointment to the National Advisory Council on Nursing during the administration of President Ronald Reagan. Always an advocate for interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary work, she accepted various leadership positions over the years, including president of the Western Social Sciences Association and chair of the board of directors for the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America Good Samaritan Society. Dr. Stember has served Augustana as a member of the Board of Regents from 1992 to 2004 and became the first woman to serve as chair of the board in 2002. She was awarded the Alumni Achievement Award in 2007 and was an Honor Guard inductee in 2017. Dr. Stember, please present yourself to the podium. By the authority vested in me by the Augustana University Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you, Marilyn Stember, the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Madam President, trustees, faculty and staff of this honored, beloved university, award recipients, family and friends, and most important, the extraordinary graduates of 2019. I am so honored to be here. Thank you for all the nice things that you just said about me. You make me feel like I've won the Lifetime Achievement Award. And now maybe my husband will really think that I'm retiring this time. I think he's been keeping a list of all the things that are due to be done in the house that I always say I'll do when I get this done or that done. The truth is, no matter what position you attain or what project you complete. There's always more to do to make you a better person or to make the world a better place. And my congratulations to Justice David Lillehog, my fellow honorary doctorate recipient. I feel fortunate to have had the privilege of hearing the music of his father on this campus when I was here, except maybe those marching band practices early in the morning on Saturdays. So I'm likely the first nursing major to ever come back to be the commencement speaker. I'm very proud to be a nurse. We celebrate National Nursing Week in May, each and every May, and this year's motto was 4 million reasons to celebrate. Recognizing the single largest, most occupation in the health field. And now, 17 years in a row, nursing has been rated in the Gallup poll as the most trusted professions amongst 20 or so diverse professions that have been asked about. So I salute my fellow registered nurses that are in the audience, and especially welcome the nursing majors that are graduating today that will soon be joining the profession. So I'm proud to be a nurse, but I'm even prouder to be a nurse scientist. I feel like I became one by a fluke. My advisor here, Miss Lorraine Hansen, had enthusiastically steered me toward a master's degree. It wasn't long before my husband Ron and I decided we would get our graduate degrees when he finished his military obligations. But first came those dreaded orders. It was a year assignment in Vietnam. So my life-changing fluke started with a last-minute decision to reluctantly accept an invitation from my husband's family for them to live with me, or for me to live with them in Rapid City. Before that, I was planning to move back to Minneapolis, be closer to my family, take my required statistics course, and work at a teaching hospital there. Somehow, at the last hour, he convinced me that it wasn't such a bad idea to let his family take me in. After all, he did have a lovely family. Both of his parents are graduates of Augustana College. He had 2 younger sisters and a younger brother that would keep me company. But most important to me, my husband assured me that they'd still love me, even when they found out what I was really like. And he said, "You can take statistics at the School of Mines and work someplace where you've been a student nurse there." So at Christmas, we moved home to a cozy corner in the basement. In January, Ron took me out to register for statistics. Well, little did we know it was a upper division course, and there were several prerequisite math courses. Well, I hadn't had math since high school. I opened the textbook, and it was all Greek to me. Ron said, "No problem. I can teach you enough calculus and differential equations before I leave that you can make it through this course." He was leaving in 2.5 weeks. Every morning was a long tutorial. Thanks for trying, honey. Long story short, taking this course was the most overwhelming, struggling, failure-like thing I'd ever done. But I hit the remedial math books. I learned how to use a slide rule and do those tedious proofs. I was barely making a passing grade. But towards semester's end, I took my GREs, and I scored off the charts in the math area. So at my first meeting with my graduate advisor, she said, "With GREs like you have, you should be in a doctoral program." I was even wondering what I was doing there. Here I was in a master's program, and everybody else, it seemed like, had graduated from a major university medical center, Stanford, UCLA, Berkeley. It was just, it was an overwhelming sort of thing. So I was saying to myself, are you kidding? I was one of 16 nursing majors at this small college in South Dakota. And I was wondering how I could even stack up against these individuals at the master's level. But it didn't take long before I was plucked out to be in this nurse scientist program that you've heard about. So in that way, I sashayed myself into 2 new social science disciplines, and I gained some pretty useful and insights and research skills. So it turns out Augustana had prepared me very well. May you have some flukes in your life as well. I hope your dreams are big, real big. But I'm sure that you haven't even thought of your biggest dreams yet. The world is changing so rapidly, so rapidly. Graduates, you are young, you are so accomplished, and you're so full of life. But I want you to know that what has gone before you will go before you can even catch your breath. So today you each come to this commencement as a rare, unique gem. You were wonderfully made, shaped by your family and friends, and worked hard and played hard here. What I've seen time and time again as a nurse scientist is that we are the sum of our total past experiences, good and bad. So what's important to understand is that what you do today will one day be your past, and what you do today will one day live into your future. So take life with passion, with intensity, but live it wisely. Well, I can't tell you how to live your life, but I can give you some insights about the road to healthy and how to stay centered for the journey. So I'll expect a few of your minds are wandering out there to graduation parties tonight and final packing up of your things, or whatever is on your agenda for the next move. Stay with me for a few minutes while we think through together how we might negotiate this trip toward being and staying healthy for today as well as tomorrow. So what would your world look like now if you weren't stressed, tired out, or depressed? If you were totally confident about your next move? What would your world look like if you were totally confident about significant relationship you might be in? That the person that you're with now, or maybe planning to marry, or probably are already married to, is the right person for you. Even though we think young people are in the healthiest age group on the planet, it's not such a healthy time. 1 in 4 children have a chronic illness. Studies are showing that among college students, 1/3 are depressed, half experience anxiety, and 3/4 report they're regularly stressed out. Many health problems are showing up earlier and earlier. Young people are more sedentary than ever, and you guys know that. Screen time on your personal devices. We say we value health. You know the expression, if you've got your health, you've got everything. Many of us think of health as a dichotomy. You're either healthy or not. And the dictionary definition for a long time supported that, health as the absence of disease. Earlier in my career, I was enamored with the World Health Organization's definition. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or immunity. Well, honestly, it set up a great goal, but who can ever achieve complete state of well-being. So now we think of healthiness on a continuum as an expanded model. The one that is most useful to me is a wellness model, and some of you may already know about that. So consider a big circle with 6 quadrants with a hub in the middle, therefore the shape of a wheel. So besides the usual physical, mental, and social health, the new kids on the wellness wheel are financial health, vocational health, and intellectual health. Spiritual health then being the center hub, suggesting spiritual wellness is central to all of health. So physical health we know best, of course. Our bodies are working well because they've been nourished, hydrated, exercised, rested. Emotional healthiness means that you can handle the full range of full emotions and express them appropriately, honoring both your own feelings and those of others, whether it's contentment or resentment or joy or anger or sadness, that you filter before you say something that's hurtful or that you'll regret, and that you can manage your stress response, not get stuck in a stressed out mode. That what should be just a normal response to keep us safe and prepared. And we've known for a long time that managing good social relationships and having supportive social networks are important to achieving and maintaining health. So now for the new 3, just briefly. Financial well-being is how we save, how we spend, and how we share. Being vocationally healthy means that we find meaning and purpose in our life and work and passions, and that we have some work-life balance. Employers from Wall Street to Main Street are providing exercise areas, better food, and a variety of health-oriented areas, all geared toward enhancing employee wellness, higher productivity, and reduced overall costs. Intellectual health is the third new component, using our minds to keep them alert and active. The idea here is to stay curious, ask questions, seek answers, explore new responsibilities, experience new things, and keep an open mind. So don't read things just that you agree with. If you read the Wall Street Journal, read the New York Times. And remember, knowing when and how to let your mind rest is as important as keeping it active. And finally, spiritual health means that you're living a centered life, focused on the God who created you, who loves you unconditionally, and will walk with you through life. It's the higher power we can turn to for strength as you seek to live well. It's the solid rock when things are out of control. I need to make 2 points before I continue as your health coach for the day. First, there are 2 kinds of health problems. You have the avoidable ones and the unavoidable ones. Everybody has unavoidable health problems. You go home for Christmas, everyone's got a bad cold, you're probably going to get it too. You trip and fall when you're out playing soccer. Someone that's close to you dies. You might have even been born with something that you couldn't avoid. So the rest of our time together, we're going to talk about the avoidable health issues, like boyfriend stress, like money problems, like the person who consistently brings you down when you're around them, like the plaque that's building up in your arteries when you're not eating so well, like the lung cancer that we know is more likely down the road if you smoke, like the effect of binge drinking or street drugs have on your body, like the immune system that doesn't function with a chronic lack of sleep. So the second clarification is that you can't blame someone else. Experts have grouped the determinants of health into 4 areas: your genetic background, the environment, lifestyle, and medical care. And there is no disagreement here. Lifestyle is by far and away the largest determinant of your health. This means that what we eat, what and how much we drink, how much we sleep, how active we are, how many friends we bother to make or keep, how resilient we are, how we choose to use our time and talents, how much we think about others. The healthcare system can only do so much. Experts estimate that less than 20% of anyone's overall health is actually due to the medical care they receive. I've worked at first-rate academic medical centers where we have amazing cutting-edge research and other work being done to understand the molecular and cellular level of the diseases, where hosts of new treatment are being discovered. And our understanding of the causes and treatment of all health conditions has grown more than exponentially. But despite these advances in medical care and the tremendous dollars that we spend, the overall health of Americans is declining. So this is to say that we have a lot to say about our own health. The basics haven't changed that much. Remember what your parents told you. Eat your peas. Don't pout. Go out and play. Make friends. Read a book. Go to bed. Say your prayers. There you go. Most parents tried to bring you up to be physically healthy, emotionally healthy, socially healthy, intellectually healthy, physically healthy, and spiritually healthy. And probably not long into childhood, they were guiding you towards your vocational and financial health. The whole idea of being a picture-perfect healthy person is a bit inaccessible, isn't it? I couldn't do it in my lifetime. You aren't doing it now. Your friends aren't doing it. So what are we to do? I would bet that you already know what dimensions of your health are on target and which ones need work. The reality might be that you've got most of these healthiness areas under control, but might have 1 or 2 issues that need attention. And even one very unhealthy habit, such as eating too much or too little, can throw your whole life awry. Not only do these avoidable health problems cause you misery now, as a young person, we have tons of scientific evidence that how we take care of ourselves now has major consequences for the future. I will give you an example that's a personal one. If I think back on my life, my biggest lifestyle mistake was not sleeping, not getting enough sleep. I clearly burned the candle at both ends. I now see that I'm not alone. It's been estimated that 2/3 of adults throughout all developing countries do fail to get the recommended hours of sleep. So that doesn't come as a surprise to most of us who just can't find the time to be in our beds that long, or we can't find ourselves tossing and turning. But neuroscientist Matthew Walker in his new New York Times bestseller, summarized what we know about the consequences of inadequate sleep. On page 1, he writes these chilling words. Routinely sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours demolishes your immune system, more than doubling your risk of cancer. Insufficient sleep is a key lifestyle factor determining whether or not you're going to develop Alzheimer's disease. Inadequate sleep, even moderate reductions for just 1 week, disrupts blood sugar levels so profoundly that you could be classified as a pre-diabetic. Short sleeping increases the likelihood of coronary arteries becoming blocked and brittle, setting you on a path toward cardiovascular disease, stroke, and congestive heart failure. And, he says, sleep disruption contributes to all major psychiatric conditions, including depression, anxiety, and suicide. Yikes. I just justified and normalized my chronically short nights with excuses like, I'm lucky to be a person who doesn't need a lot of sleep. That's too great of an opportunity. It was an honor to be asked. I don't want to miss out. Even the excuse, I've got to take time out to stay healthy, like ski, like hike, families, friends, church, and concerts. Speaking of time, who has time to get everything done that you have to do, plus find time to sleep, or walk, or eat well? So this might be a good time to tell you about my 10-minute rule. When I was growing up, my mother had this expression, make every 10 minutes count. My adult version is find 10 minutes and make it count. Every day I make 10 minutes to read my daily Sarah Young devotions before I even get out of bed for the day. And I always find 10 minutes to listen to one of my meditation apps. My favorites now are Calm and Breathe. You all have 10 minutes. Find 10 minutes and make them count. And you choose what it is that you need and what works best for you. As a nurse, I've learned for a long time that it's not a one-size-fits-all. So the problem isn't that we don't know what's good for us. The problem is we don't act on it. For some reason, most of us will only make a change for the better when we're faced with a crisis of some kind. Without some kind of pain or unpleasant event to shake us up, we can cruise through life on autopilot. Now, I wouldn't be a very good coach today if I didn't tell you the trick, of course, is to be proactive with your health, not reactive, and to make changes before something bad happens. So graduates, listen up. I'm going to make it easy for you. The answer to the question, how can we avoid the avoidable health problems, is really another question. And it's become my favorite question. In fact, it's such a clarifying question that it really simplifies the whole thing. I'm going to frame this question in a Christian context, but it really isn't a Christian question. So if you're not a Christian, or you're just not that into God right now, it's still a good question. And the question works for everybody. It works for you, it works for me. It works here and now. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your past experience with. It fits every generation, it fits every nation. So we can get to this question by examining a verse or two from Paul's letter to the Ephesians. The first part of the passage goes like this: "Be very careful then how you live." In some translation it says, "Look carefully then how you walk." So on this road to healthy, we're advised to be careful. The second part of the passage is, "Not as unwise, but as wise." not as unwise, but as wise. What does it mean to live wisely? Wise people know that actions have consequences. Wise people know that what they do today will affect their future. Wise people understand that the dots are connected. What happened yesterday has affected me today, and what my today is going to affect my future. So the unwise person thinks yesterday is gone, today is today, tomorrow is tomorrow. Somehow they think these are unconnected. Wise people remember the lesson they learned last time they were in this situation. Like, last time I was didn't start writing a paper until the night before. Last time I said yes, and I knew in my heart it should have been no. In light of the fact that I just broke up with my boyfriend, and I'm not in a very good place, wise people would say, I have to say no for now. Not that it's wrong, not that it's wrong for another person. That's not the issue. But for me, at this moment, it's not the wise thing to do. So wise people know that what's wise for me is different for you, your roommate, your mother, and your brother. The next part of the passage is making the most of everything. This piece of the text says, be aware of every invitation and every opportunity. Don't sleepwalk your way through life. You have choices to make. This includes how you use your 24 hours we have in each day. Find those 10 minutes and make them count. The next part of Paul's text is, because the days are evil. The days of evil, as written in Ephesians, was referring to the culture of that time, life in the first century. What Paul is saying to that community was, the culture around you is not going to take you on the right path or the best path. But it's also relevant today. Unhealthy influence abound everywhere. Negative influences, whether it's a luring TV ad, flashing neon signs, violence in the movies, or social media buzz. We are at risk of getting swept up in what everyone else is doing. Something you might be missing out of, enticements for a way that you can be more glamorous or have more excitement. So our culture isn't exactly promoting good health, is it? It's always saying, come on, come on, come on, you can be more attractive, life will be more fun if you come this way. Try me, use me, buy me, rent me, lease me. But wise people know you pay a price. Remember that more than half of the health in your life is attributable to lifestyle choices you've made before. So the last part of the section then is a text of this text, re-emphasizes the first part. Therefore, do not be foolish. So let me put the whole passage together. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish. So do not trade your unhealthy habits today for a less healthy life, potential serious illness or health problems in the future. Wise people understand that life is connected. We know that today will one day be our past, and you and I do in the present will one day show up in our individual futures. And the clearer that we are about our vision for the future, the easier it is to make a wise decision. Okay, it's commencement day. It's a transition day. Augustana University has provided you with a solid academic foundation. in a true liberal arts tradition. But they've provided you with much more. They've provided you with a supportive, caring environment to nurture you. They've scheduled tons of activities, provided numerous community service opportunities, provided counseling and health services, encouraged athletic participation, and a structure for social interest groups. They've provided opportunities for your spiritual growth. But now you're leaving, and you're going to have to find people and places to continue these supportive experiences on your own. And hopefully, you have lots of healthy habits that you created here. I bet you've learned a lot about handling stress. But I'm not naive enough to think you didn't pick up a few unhealthy habits as well. As you know, commencement means beginning. Make it a good beginning. Use your electronic devices to help you. Information is unlimited. Health-related apps, podcasts, and online tools are at your fingertips. Use them. Get help from professionals when you need it. Find ways that you can be of service to others. Find the people who make you a better person. Sustain a relationship with your God, who know God's love is always there, both in joyous and difficult situations. So the present will one day be your future. Look carefully then how you walk this road to healthy. When you have points of decision, ask yourself the key question: is it the wise thing to do? Avoid the avoidable health issues, or at least delay them for a decade or two. And keep yourself centered for the journey so you can handle the unavoidable situations in your health. It's like solidly planting your 2 feet, or keeping the hands on the steering wheel when you're driving a boat. You'll be much more ready for those unexpected, unavoidable waves when they hit you. In closing, I'm going to shift to tell you about a bridal shower that was held in Minneapolis a few weekends ago. The invitation said, bring a recipe, as well as some written advice for the bride's memory book. Knowing me, I couldn't keep it to 1 or 2 things, so I made a cute little mini poster titled, Showering Bryn with Aunt Marilyn's Advice, the ABCs. When I finished it, I thought it's a pretty good reminder to myself, so I hung a copy in the kitchen. As I was finalizing this speech last week, I walked by and said, most of that's pretty good advice for graduates. After all, giving advice is what a commencement speaker is supposed to do. So I'll conclude with the mini poster version that I devised for you. So A, acknowledge being healthy is an adventure. B, believe in your future. C, communicate with kindness. D, do important things. E, express your appreciation. F, forgive gently and let it go. G, grow to be the best you can be. H, hold on, bumps in the road ahead. I, initiate the happiness you want. J, jump all in or just take the first step. K, keep yourself interesting. L, love your neighbor and yourself. M, make it joyful. N, nourish your whole self. O, open your heart fully. P, plan way ahead. Q, query the uneasy moments. R, release worries to God's hands. S, Stay centered for the journey. T, trust your judgment. U, understand flexibility is required. V, value quiet moments. W, walk wisely. X, say, excuse me, that's not for me. Y, you yearn for your highest hopes and dreams. And Z, zero in. You got it. Congratulations to the class of 2019.
Dr. Stember, thank you for those insights, the advice drawn from your experience as an alumna, as a professor, as a nurse, as a scientist. It's not just good advice for our graduates today, but for each and every one of us. So thank you again. And at this time, we'll be blessed by the voices of the Augustana Choir, directed by Dr. Steve Greaves.
Thank you, Dr. Greaves, and thank you, Augustana Choir. That was beautiful and wonderfully moving, as always. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a distinguished member of the 2019 graduating class, Samantha Vaverka, from Milford, Nebraska, who will speak on behalf of her fellow graduates. Samantha majored in biology and Spanish and will graduate today summa cum laude honors. Please welcome Samantha Vaverka.
Thank you. Good afternoon, graduates and guests. I'd like to take a moment to give a special welcome to our families. I know I speak for most of us graduates when I say, Mom, Dad, I couldn't have done it without you. Thanks for everything. As I hiked with my classmates through the Guatemalan jungle at dusk, I felt weary, exhausted, a little bit disgusting from the 2-day walk, and absolutely terrified. It was the J term of my sophomore year, and I was studying abroad for the first time in what would become one of my favorite places in the world, the jungles of Guatemala. By this time in our hike, we were miles away from any civilization, miles away from help, and to my dismay, I found myself walking toward a cliff with bats zooming around my head and blindly banging into my arms. All the while, I was on the way to see, or rather hear, hundreds of thousands of bats descend from a cliff and fly past my face, willingly. I was terrified, and yet I look back on that memory as one of the most awe-inspiring moments of the course, something that I never could have experienced had I stayed back at the camp. Nelson Mandela tells us, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. What I have found through my years at Augustana University is that embracing fear and doing what you are afraid to do can lead to some of the most powerful experiences of not only college, but also life. If I'm not mistaken, many of us graduating today are excited for what is to come. Some finally starting their dream job or beginning graduate school, giddy with the anticipation of starting a new chapter. But many of us are also feeling nervous, maybe even a little afraid of the future. And that is completely normal, and even a good thing. I've been scared many times before in my life, and I'm guessing everyone here today has been as well. But you can't live your life waiting to be unafraid, or opportunities will pass you by. Throughout our 4 years at Augustana, we have all learned how to face our fears and to do things that we were afraid to do. We were encouraged by our professors, administrators, and peers that we were capable and that we would succeed, giving us the courage to tackle our fears. Whether that was running for a club officer position, giving a presentation in another language for the first time, auditioning for that role in the play, or competing in a national sporting event, we have all learned to tackle our fears. One might even call this becoming fearfully fearless. You see, doing what you are afraid to do in and of itself makes you not only courageous, but also fearless. For me, one of these fears came in the form of a full year of physics to be taken during my junior year at Augustana. Throughout high school and college, I had dreaded taking a physics class, not because I was bad at math or science, but because it was something I had never done before. I doubted myself. When the first homework assignment came due, there was a question about a river salmon swimming upstream. He wanted to jump into a pool at the top of a waterfall, but he couldn't get there unless I figured out how fast he needed to swim in order to catapult himself up the waterfall, taking into account all of the kinematics involved and the forces of the waterfall. He wasn't going to make it. I tried for what seemed like hours to figure out the problem, but never really understood the answer. This made me even more afraid of the first exam, after which I promptly called my dad, crying, to tell him that I was going to get a 2%. Surprisingly, by the end of the year, I had really enjoyed the course, something I'd never admitted until now. Whoops. It's amazing how much I learned in a class that I was so afraid to take. I'm guessing many of us graduating today have a similar story. Something great happened when we chose to stick it out rather than give in. Fear showed us exactly where we were supposed to be and what we needed to do. In other words, do the thing that you fear most, and the death of fear is certain. Mark Twain. Sometimes we just need that extra push to get it together and do something that we are afraid to do. Whether that is something simple like going to college, tackling a fear of bats, or taking on a tough physics exam, or even something larger in the future. We have to remember that it is okay to be nervous. It is okay to be afraid. We have to keep going, knowing that Augustana has equipped us with everything that we need to succeed. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Thanks to Augustana University. We have spent the last 4 years preparing for our futures, gleaning every bit of knowledge that we can, and developing into promising young adults poised to take on the world. Hillary Clinton once said, "Never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance and opportunity in the world." I believe that is true for all of us today as we go out into the world, becoming fearfully fearless. Class of 2019, know your value, believe in yourselves, and may you always do what you are afraid to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. We have a number of programs at Augustana that challenge students to develop their many gifts, including honor societies, professional organizations, and student associations. You will note the cords and medals many graduates are wearing, which are described in your program. We would like to highlight one of these programs, the Augustana Civitas Honors Program. This program challenges academically gifted students to be creative and intellectually curious in exploring the responsibilities of citizenship and local and global communities through a liberal arts lens. Students graduating from Civitas Honors Program are wearing a gold stole. Would those students please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science in Nursing please stand? President Herseth Sandlin, these students have completed all requirements for the degree Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and I am pleased to present them to you at this time for the conferring of the degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Augustana University Board of Trustees, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the degree Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science in Nursing, with all of the rights, responsibilities, and privileges thereto. Please come forward to receive your diploma, and with the exception of the first row, the candidates may be seated.
Nolan J. Austin, cum laude. Alessandra Michaela Abel, cum laude. Kaylee Joe Ahrens. Jennifer Lee Akers. Denise Alcivar Obando. Osaheni Amadasu. Anne Marie Anderson, magna cum laude. Alexa V.E. Ankrum, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Madeline Marie Antonson. Helene Ayano. Samak Basak. Fetia Badada. Haley Catherine Benjamin, magna cum laude. Kyle Mason Besaw, magna cum laude. Leah Grace Blum, magna cum laude. Alec David Blomquist. Carly Joe Bolin, summa cum laude. Benjamin Decker Borson. Haley Marie Bowers. Madeline May Braun, cum laude. Mason Robert Breitling. Jack William Brown, cum laude. Alexa Christine Bruick, summa cum laude. Emily Patricia Buell, cum laude. Adam Christopher Bunger, summa cum laude. Sydney M. Kane. Robert James Calmine. Jordan Rolland Cardenas, summa cum laude. Benjamin Carmack, summa cum laude. Britta J. Cobble, magna cum laude. Isaac Michael Charlson. Mark Anders Christensen. Amelia Catherine Caesar. Hope Elizabeth Clark. Elizabeth Michelle Colby. Sarah Ann Cunningham. Raquel Christine Carril. Adam Ernest Dale. Rachel Lynn Damhoff, magna cum laude. Skylar Craig DeYoung, civitas honors. Abel Dan DeBeebe. Emily M. Delzer. Christina Belai Demasi, magna cum laude. Jacob Mark Den. Carly Diane Donald. Connor Christopher Engberg. Jacob Stephen Garrett Fenner. Taylor Ann Fenner, summa cum laude. Alexandra Eileen Fisher. Grace L. Fellinger. Brianna Dawn Flory, civitas honors. Corby Robert Foss. Taylor Julia Fournier. Dalton Gerald Fromm. Bailey Michelle Franzine, cum laude. Kelly Christine Frost, magna cum laude. Darwin Abraham Garcia, magna cum laude. Anthony Philip Gazecki, cum laude. Casey Nicole Geiger. Jenna Leanne Glassburner, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Tate Marie Green. Hannah Jean Gugesberg, magna cum laude. Carissa Rose Haganah. Jarius Jakin Halligan. Claire Elizabeth Hammerschmidt, cum laude. Jenna Nicole Hansen, magna cum laude. Noah Matthew Hansen, cum laude. William James Hartman. Cale Allen Hecht. Sarah Diane Hine. Hannah Rose Higgins, cum laude. Marissa Height, cum laude. Bailey Marie Hilgenkamp. Troy Dean Hollinsworth, magna cum laude. Bailey Blaze Lynn Holscher, cum laude. McKenna Ray Hodavy, summa cum laude. Sarah Marie House, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Reed Marie Hunoff. Kimberly Ray Infield. Charles Lyle Arvesrud. Catherine Faye Louisa Jacobs. Stephanie Eva Johns, cum laude, civitas honors. Joshua Luke Jaton, cum laude, civitas honors. Madeline Marjorie Jenkins. Cameron John Jensen, summa cum laude. Alexandra K. Johnson, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Andrew Joseph Johnson. Julia Marie Johnson. Santel Ginevra Johnson, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Chally Mullane Jones, summa cum laude. Eric Lewis Kafka. Sakshi Nitin Kale, magna cum laude. Joseph James Kale. Christine L. Keller. Hatem Kalfawi. Megan Elizabeth Kipfer, cum laude. Dylan Nathan Kipp. Jonah Michael Kistenmacher, summa cum laude. Elena K. Clapprich. Riley Marie Closey. Michael Blaine Closa. Alexis Joy Knutson, cum laude. Jacob Allen Knutson, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Alexandra Lee Kraft. Brett Michael Kramer, magna cum laude. Carter William Kranz. Austin Eldon Kruger, summa cum laude. Cody Yates Kujawa. Jacob David Quigney. Nicholas Matthew Larson. Angelica Marie Laurent. Yuchi Lei. Megan Ann Lindley, cum laude. Jessica Marion Lindstrom, magna cum laude. Paige Gloria Lingbeck. Rachel Moretta Loon. Spencer James Lucas, cum laude. Samantha Lynn Lucian. Matthew James Lytle. Michaela Heidi Magnuson. Monica Jean Marotz. Allison K. Marshall. Hope Elizabeth Monders, cum laude. Jordan M. Maxfield. Connor Kelly McPhee. Paul Michael Malash. Josie Bergen Mendel. Bereket Alamayu Mengeste. Tabitha Joe Merkel. Samson Asher Metler, cum laude. Allison Marie Meyer. Nicholas Myers. Allison Maureen Miller. Naomi Lynn Miller, magna cum laude. Anna Marie Moe. Matthew James Moe, Civitas Honors. Amina Musinovich. Nicole Madison Muchler, cum laude, Civitas Honors. Braden Dwight Myers. Catherine Jane Nasby. Tofik Nazrul, cum laude. Bailey James Nisus. Bailey Jean Nelson. Devin John James Nelson, magna cum laude. Marley Kate Nicholson, summa cum laude. Sarah Linda Nolan. Dagny Kylan Odie. Alexa Ray Olson. Lydia May Olson. Brenda Orozco, cum laude. Emily Margaret Oyas, magna cum laude, Civitas Honors. Annika Joy Peck. Lydia Beth Peterson. Mason Paul Flieger. Courtney Ann Place, cum laude. Lindsay Nicole Popkies. Zachary David Prouse. Catherine E. Price, summa cum laude, Civitas Honors. Lindsay K. Prosser, cum laude. Emily Sue Roddy. Rochelle Renee Ramharder, magna cum laude. Nicholas Daniel Riefenberger. Andrew John Reinschmidt. Bailey Joe Relf, summa cum laude. Tanya Rodesno Antunes. Erica Sue Rogotsky, summa cum laude. Lindsay Ann Romig. Eric Christopher Rossing, summa cum laude. Tristan Marie Roy, Civitas Honors. Jessica Noel Ruff, Civitas cum laude. Jake Ryan Russell. Stephanie Alexandra Sanchez Padilla, cum laude. Jared Mark Saunders. Joseph D. Sawatsky. Reed James Sawatsky, summa cum laude. Jocelyn Marie Schipper, cum laude. Gabriella Schmidt Grimminger. Leah Ann Seivert, summa cum laude. Avery Grace Ann Selberg, cum laude. Shelby Marie Selland, magna cum laude. Brett Thomas Shepley. Miranda Claire Sigler, magna cum laude. Lauren Gail Sim, cum laude, Civitas Honors. Marin Michelle Scarpel, magna cum laude. Stacy Marie Soderstrom, magna cum laude. Ashley Solano. Derek W. Somnus. Autumn Hope Sochek. Dallas Joseph Soyland, cum laude. Noel Mariah Starnes. Vasily Stefanuk. Caitlin Grace Stevens. Ryan M. Stiles. Duncan James Stabner. Anna Bella Stridicki. Jack Kelly Taylor, cum laude. Lohim Hailey Tesfa. Jada Corinne Thamert, summa cum laude. Natasha L. Feiner. Olivia Jean Thompson. Rebecca L. Thorson, cum laude. Jeffrey Lynn Thormidsgard. Kelsey Lynn Thorsness. Alexander Lee Teets. Caitlin Jolene Telusty, magna cum laude. Trey Adam Townsend. Eduardo Enrique Turcios Valle. Jaden Alyssa Ulrich. Hannah Marie Vaca, Civitas Honors. Rebecca Marie Vandybrock. Brandon Lee Vanderzee, summa cum laude. Clark Philip Vargo, magna cum laude. Samantha Barbara Vaverka, summa cum laude. Nathan Thomas Vielander. Olivia Ray Verdick, magna cum laude, Civitas Honors. Kaylee Elizabeth Versteeg, cum laude. Andrew Villegas Aguayo. Leah Luigi Vellone. Jade Elizabeth Vipond. Sarah Alicia Waldner, cum laude, Civitas Honors. Allison Lee Walter. Zachary Ronald Waltman. Xinxing Wang. Evan James Ward, cum laude. Isaac Richard Weber, magna cum laude. Mitchell Foster Webster. Andre Vigord. Holly Jean Wilson, cum laude. Kathleen May Winkler, cum laude. Molly Jean Winter, cum laude. Grace Elizabeth Warden, magna cum laude. Siyu Wu, cum laude. Alexander William Zell. Xian Zhang. Ziki Zhang. Shito Gao, summa cum laude. Emily Christine Boyson, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Lee Brandt. Kiera Madison Crow, summa cum laude. Solomon DeJin. Brooke Riley DeVos. Julie Adele DeWitt. Hope Alexis Downey, cum laude. Summer Ray Eisner. Tyann Marie Folkerts. Monica Hiron. Alexandra K. Goldhammer. Mackenzie Elizabeth Hegarty, magna cum laude. Sintayu Hailu Ergite. Caitlin Marie Hartman. Courtney Jean Hotovy. Devin Ann Kilpatrick. Rochelle Ray Klein, cum laude. Caitlin Janae Langen. Emily Marie Larson. Paige Diane Lingen, cum laude. Anna Catherine Mahold, magna cum laude. Allie Marie Merkel, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Metz, magna cum laude. Lita Marie Miller. Madeline Sarah Miller, magna cum laude, civitas honors. Paige Christine Moling. Lily Eva Noble. Amanda Kayleen Nelson Peterson, summa cum laude. Julie Elizabeth Plonsky, cum laude. Cody Lee Rofshus. Daniela Ruiz. Ellen Madeline Shearing. Elizabeth Marie Schlenker. Amy Marie Schmall. Cassandra Marie Spey, cum laude. Kathleen M. N. Thompson. Abby Rose Vanderzee, cum laude. Austin D. Vander Whitey, summa cum laude. Alyssa Catherine Volmer Johnson, cum laude. Kaylee Lynn Webster, cum laude. Elizabeth Joe Werkamp, magna cum laude. Bryce Donald Wallman.
I follow Bryce on Twitter.
In 2015, Augustana began an endeavor called the Augie Access Program. This program invites young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities to participate in post-secondary educational experiences. It is with great joy that we present the completers of this program to receive their certificate of completion. Will the Augustana Access students please stand? President Herseth Sandlin, these students have completed all requirements for the Certificate of Completion from the Augustana Access Program, and I am pleased to present them to you at this time for the awarding of their certificates.
By the authority vested in me by the Augustana University Board of Trustees and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the Certificate of Completion from the Augustana Access Program with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Please come forward to receive your certificate.
Morgan Diane Mitchell. Noah Barnett Pierce. Benjamin Norris Theophilus.
Congratulations, Augie Access students. Thank you for your contributions to the Augustana University community. Will all of the graduates now please rise again at this time? You may now turn your tassels to the left as a symbol of your accomplishment. Congratulations, and ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Augustana University class of 2019. Now I'd ask for you to remain standing and join us in singing the Augustana Alma Mater, the words for which are printed in your program. Thank you to all who have made this day possible. Dr. Christopher Unger, conductor of the Augustana Band, and Dr. Stephen Greaves, conductor of the Augustana Choir. Thank you, Justice Lillehog, for celebrating with us today along with your family. Thank you to Dr. Stember and Samantha for inspiring us today with your words of wisdom and encouragement. Thank you to Jennifer Miners, our communications and marketing team, Joni Kruger, and the Registrar's Office staff for coordinating the many details that go into this ceremony. And lastly, thank you, class of 2019. Thank you for all you've done during your time at Augustana to enrich our campus community. And thank you for all that we know you will do in the years ahead and throughout your lives to serve others and to change the world in ways that reflect the very best of our common humanity. And remember, once a Viking, always a Viking, so stay close, come back and visit us often, yes. And may God bless each of you and your families, and may God bless Augustana University. Thank you very much, and please remain standing.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.